Welcome to the Deep Book Digest, where we take these deep dives into fascinating books.
Yeah.
And today we're looking at Bono's Surrender. 40 songs, one story.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
Have you ever thought about what it would be like to just pour your heart out?
Oh, yeah.
You know, not just through music,
Right.
but through words, like every high and low, like just raw and unfiltered.
Yeah.
And that's what Bono does in this memoir.
Yes.
And it's just wild.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because it's not just a straight autobiography, you know?
Right.
It's structured around 40 U2 songs.
Oh, wow.
40 chapters of his life.
Okay.
It's like music and memory,
Yeah.
all the struggles, both public and private.
Yeah, it's like this backstage pass to his life.
Totally.
We see him as Paul Hewson, right?
Yeah.
The kid from Dublin before he was Bono.
Yeah. Before the rock star.
And we see the impact of his mom's death when he was only 14.
Yeah.
And how that shapes his relationship with his father, Bob.
Totally. And that loss, you know, that becomes a recurring theme.
Right.
A shadow over his whole life.
Yeah.
It influences everything, you know?
Yeah.
His search for meaning,
Yeah.
his spirituality.
Right.
Even that rebellious streak he had as a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that story about him mimicking Ian Paisley?
Oh, yeah.
Just to try and impress a girl?
Yeah.
I mean, it shows right from the beginning he was a performer.
Yeah.
He knew how to use his voice to make an impact.
Yeah. It's so interesting how all those early experiences, even the ones that seem small,
I know.
they plant these seeds
Okay.
of what he would become.
Right.
And then there's Mount Temple School,
Oh, yeah.
birthplace of U2.
Such a creative melting pot.
Yeah.
All these young musicians finding each other, forming a bond that would last for decades.
Yeah, you can feel that energy in the book.
Totally.
That raw ambition that
Right.
just drive to make their music heard.
Yeah, they were hungry.
They faced a lot of rejection early on.
Oh,
We weren't an overnight success at all.
No, they had to fight for every little opportunity to scrape together money to go to London, you know?
Right.
So many doors slammed in their faces
Yeah.
before they finally got that record.
Yeah. But what's remarkable is that belief they had
I know, it's incredible.
in themselves and their music.
Yeah, that unshakable conviction.
Yeah.
Like they were meant for something big.
Yeah. And then there's Paul McGuinness, their manager.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like he played such a key role
Absolutely.
in their success.
Almost like a fifth member of the band.
Yeah.
McGuinness was brilliant,
Yeah.
a strategist, sharp as a tack,
Right.
protective of the band.
Yeah.
And he understood the music industry like nobody's business.
Yeah.
You can see his influence everywhere from
Yeah.
the deals they got to their image.
But it wasn't just about music for Bono.
No.
He was also really engaged with his spirituality,
Oh, yeah.
particularly his involvement with the Shalom Christian group.
Yes.
How do you think that shaped his worldview?
The Shalom group was huge for Bono early on.
Okay.
They emphasized peace, social justice, a commitment to helping others. And those values, they really resonated with him,
Yeah.
especially with all the political turmoil and violence in Ireland at the time.
It's like all these experiences, both personal and spiritual,
It is.
they laid the groundwork for his activism.
Right.
Like all these threads were coming together, leading him toward this path
Yeah.
of using his platform for something bigger than himself.
Exactly. And that's where we start to see the idea of surrender really take shape,
Okay.
but not the passive kind of surrender.
Right.
This is about channeling his energy and passion, even his fame
Right.
towards causes he believed in,
Uh-huh.
surrendering to a purpose bigger than himself.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff. And that path, it really starts to take shape with his trip to Ethiopia
Right.
in 1985 during the famine.
Oh, wow.
That was a turning point for Bono.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just reading about suffering in the news.
Uh-huh.
This was seeing it firsthand, feeling it. It shook him to his core.
Yeah. It's like that experience really cracked open something inside him.
It did.
That urgency to act.
Exactly. It wasn't enough to sing about peace and justice anymore.
Yeah.
He had to do something.
Yeah.
Use his platform to make a real difference.
And his activism wasn't just writing checks or going to rallies.
Oh, no.
He got deep into policy,
He did.
working with politicians, economists, activists
Yeah.
to address debt relief and the AIDS epidemic.
Huge issues.
He was willing to get into the nitty-gritty,
Totally.
learn from experts,
Mm-hmm.
be a student as much as a celebrity advocate.
And he was willing to work with anyone.
Yeah.
No matter their political affiliation.
Right.
Like he built relationships with Jesse Helms,
Wow.
conservative senator, and George W. Bush.
Yeah.
He was more interested in solutions than playing politics.
That's amazing.
It is.
And that story about him falling asleep at the White House
Oh, yeah.
after one too many cocktails with Obama.
I love that story.
It's funny, but also revealing. He was comfortable in those circles of power,
Yeah.
even if he didn't always fit in perfectly.
It humanizes him.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to poke fun at himself
Right.
to admit his flaws.
But makes him more relatable,
Totally.
even while he's hanging out with world leaders.
It's like he's always trying to bridge that gap,
Yeah.
between personal and political,
Uh-huh.
the rock star and the activist.
And music becomes this connecting thread,
Absolutely.
a way to amplify those voices
Yeah.
that are often marginalized or ignored.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday is a perfect example.
Oh, yeah.
Deeply personal, reflecting on the violence in Ireland,
Right.
but also universal in its plea for peace.
It's powerful.
It launched U2 onto the world stage and solidified their commitment to using their music for change.
But that outspokenness also brought criticism,
Oh, of course.
especially with the Northern Ireland conflict.
Yeah.
People said they were naive,
Ah,
oversimplifying complex issues.
how did they handle that pressure?
They never backed down.
They didn't.
They knew it was complex,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't stay silent.
Right.
They felt they had to speak out against injustice.
Even if it made people uncomfortable.
Exactly.
It's a form of surrender, too.
Okay.
Letting go of the need to be liked,
Yeah.
embracing the chance of being misunderstood.
And then there's the personal cost of that level of fame and activism.
Right.
Bono doesn't shy away from that.
No.
The challenge is the ego, the strain on his marriage,
Yeah.
almost dying during a concert.
He's so candid about his flaws.
And that honesty
I know.
makes the book so compelling.
He doesn't pretend to be a saint.
Right.
Just a guy trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah.
Questioning, searching, doubting.
And through it all, there's that undercurrent of surrender.
Absolutely.
But as we've been saying, it's not about giving up.
No.
It's about letting go of control, of needing to be perfect, of
Right.
having all the answers. It's about acknowledging your limits and being vulnerable.
And that's where Ollie, his wife, comes in. She's his anchor, his confidant,
Right.
the one who keeps his ego in check.
Their bond is so strong,
It is.
even after everything they've been through.
It's a reminder that even in a life like Bono's,
Yeah.
love and connection are essential.
They keep you grounded
They do.
and give you that safe space to be vulnerable.
And in that vulnerability,
Yeah.
that willingness to let go,
Uh-huh.
there's freedom.
Yeah.
A release from having to be Bono all the time.
It allows him to connect with his humanity,
Totally.
with what truly matters.
And that connection fuels his creativity.
Right.
He talks about his admiration for Bowie,
Yeah.
Johnny Cash Pavarotti.
It's great to hear him talk about those relationships,
I know.
how they inspired him.
Their artistry,
Yeah.
their courage,
Yeah.
their willingness to push boundaries.
He even talks about how Bowie visited them in Dublin,
I love that story.
dressed as a ship captain.
It's just this quirky little detail
Uh-huh.
that shows these larger-than-life figures, they're human too. That's the beauty of surrender, peeling back the layers of fame to see the man underneath.
The one who loves hurts doubts,
Exactly.
searches for meaning in this crazy world.
And music is that constant thread,
Yeah.
a source of solace, inspiration, connection.
He says Pavarotti lived enough life to sing for people who were losing a grip on theirs.
Wow.
That line really got me.
It's beautiful.
It speaks to the power of music,
Uh-huh.
to transcend language,
Mm.
to touch us at our core.
It's a reminder that even someone like Bono
Yeah,
struggles with the same questions we all do.
right.
What's the purpose of life?
Yeah.
How do we find meaning in suffering?
How do we surrender?
And those are questions surrender makes us think about.
Yeah,
Not just in Bono's life,
right.
but our own as well.
It's like he's inviting us along on this journey with him.
Yeah.
Not just through the stories, but by writing the book itself.
It is an act of surrender, isn't it?
Yeah.
To put it all out there. His vulnerabilities, doubts, mistakes.
For everyone to see,
It's brave.
there's real honesty in this book.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't avoid the tough stuff.
No, it doesn't.
The problems in his marriage,
Mhm.
the times you two almost broke up,
Right.
how he reconciles his faith with what's happening in the world.
And it's by facing those challenges,
Yeah,
admitting those imperfections,
right.
that he seems to understand what surrender really means.
It's not about weakness
No.
or giving up.
It's about letting go
Uh-huh.
of that need to control everything.
Right.
To have all the answers.
To be perfect.
Exactly.
It's about accepting the messiness of life
Yeah.
and finding strength in vulnerability.
He talks about those creative breakthroughs
Yeah.
when a song just appears,
Mhm.
like it was a gift.
Right.
And he realizes those moments come when he's not forcing it, when he's open to something bigger than himself.
That's powerful.
It is.
For anyone, musician or not.
It's about trusting the process, letting go of the ego.
Making space for something greater.
I think that's why this book resonates so much. It's not just a celebrity memoir.
It's more than that.
It's about the human experience.
Yeah.
Searching for meaning, connection, purpose.
He reminds us that even people like Bono,
with all the fame and fortune, still struggle with the same things we all do.
Yeah, and maybe it's through those struggles, those moments of doubt,
that we find our own way to surrender,
to let go,
to embrace the unknown.
So what about you? Where in your life could letting go lead to something amazing?
That's a good question.
What would it look like to surrender?
Not as weakness,
but as strength, resilience,
creativity.
Those are questions worth thinking about.
They are.
Because in a world that values control, there's freedom in the unknown.
There is.
In trusting the journey.
In letting go.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Share your reflections on surrender in the comments.
Or tell us about other books we should cover.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives.
Keep diving deep.
And keep those pages turning.